Imagine facing your deepest fears head-on, whether it's the terror of boarding a plane or the dread of encountering a tiny insect. This Sunday's CBS News Sunday Morning dives right into that unsettling reality, exploring how millions grapple with phobias that feel utterly paralyzing. But here's where it gets interesting. Could overcoming these fears unlock a more empowered you? Stick around as we unpack the episode's must-watch segments that blend heartwarming stories, historical insights, and even a dash of political tension. You won't want to miss the twists that might just change how you see the world around you. Tune in this Sunday, October 26th, to the acclaimed CBS News Sunday Morning, an Emmy-winning show hosted by the ever-graceful Jane Pauley. It airs live on CBS starting at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. And for those who prefer streaming, catch it on the CBS News app from 11 a.m. ET Onward. Don't forget to download the app for seamless access. Links are available at cbsnews.com/mobile. Cover story: Conquering Phobias, tackling those irrational fears that hold us back. Around 33 million adults in the United States will confront a phobia at some stage, a profound dread towards something harmless, like soaring through the skies, creepy crawlies such as roaches, or even a routine dental checkup. Journalist Susan Spencer chats with specialists to reveal the extreme measures folks take to vanquish these unfounded terrors. For beginners, think of a phobia as an exaggerated response where the brain's alarm system goes haywire, triggering panic despite no real danger. Experts explain techniques like gradual exposure therapy, where you slowly face the fear in safe steps, or cognitive behavioral approaches that rewire negative thought patterns. It's not just about bravery. It's about understanding your mind's tricks. Dig deeper with these resources. Psychologist Luana Marquez. Visit her site at drluana.com for more on anxiety and phobias. Dr. Louis Siegelman. Check out dentalphobia.com to learn how he helps patients overcome dentist-related fears. Jill Coleman, Associate Dean at Ball State University's College of Sciences and Humanities. Explore her work at bsu.edu/academics/colleges and departments/csh/about/staff/Jill Coleman. Reflecting on October 26, the show takes a nostalgic journey through pivotal moments from this very date in history. Nature, tarantulas demystified. Why fear these gentle giants? We know surprisingly little about the brown tarantula, a Phaunopelma hensi, native to areas from Louisiana across to Texas and up to Colorado. But arachnid specialist Kara Shillington kicks things off with a pivotal question. Why do these eight-legged critters send shivers down our spines? She joins forces with Jonathan Vigliotti at Colorado's La Junta Tarantula Fest, an annual bash celebrating these spiders that attracts hordes to witness thousands meandering across the Comanche National Grassland in a clumsy stop-and-go mating quest. For those new to this, tarantulas are often misunderstood as aggressive predators, but most are docile and play key roles in controlling pest populations. Attending a festival like this can be a fun way to reframe your view. Imagine seeing them up close without the horror movie lens. For more info, La Junta Tarantula Fest in La Junta, Colorado. Head to visitlajunta.net/tarantulafest. Kara Shillington, professor in the Department of Biology at Eastern Michigan University. Learn more at emich.edu/biology/faculty/cshillington.php. Comanche National Grassland in Pueblo, Colorado. Details at emich.edu/biology/faculty/php. Note this link might be a placeholder. Check for updates. Special thanks to wildlife photographer Devin Matthews. See his work on thefinaljourney.devinmatthews.com. Halloween. Crunching the numbers. Get ready for some spooky stats as the episode breaks down Halloween facts and figures. Politics. Insights from Governor Gavin Newsom. Reporter Robert Costa brings us the scoop. Preview. Governor Newsom shoots down Trump's National Guard idea for San Francisco. In an upcoming CBS Sunday Morning chat airing October 26th, California's governor firmly rejects President Trump's suggestion to deploy National Guard troops to San Francisco, calling it laughable and insisting there's nothing happening there that warrants it. Newsom even hints he'd pursue legal action to prevent such a move. This segment highlights a growing divide in American politics. On one side, calls for tough law enforcement measures. On the other, a push for local solutions without federal overreach. And this is the part most people miss. Is this a clash of ideologies or a sign of deeper national tensions? What if Trump's approach, while controversial, aims to address real safety concerns, while Newsom's stance protects state autonomy? Let's discuss, does sending troops really solve urban issues, or does it just escalate them? Passage. Honoring those we've lost. The program pays tribute to notable individuals who passed away recently. Business. Ford CEO Jim Farley navigates tariff turmoil. Even though Ford manufactures over 80% of its U.S. sold vehicles domestically, the top rate among Detroit's Big Three, they still rely on imported components heavily impacted by tariffs. CEO Jim Farley sits with Chris Van Cleve to explain how Trump's tariffs have already cost Ford a whopping $2 billion, threatening their American investments and potentially boosting rivals. He also shares why he opts for a Chinese-made electric car. For newcomers to economics, tariffs are essentially taxes on imported goods meant to protect local jobs, but they can raise costs and spark trade wars. Farley argues this hurts innovation. Imagine paying more for car parts, which jacks up prices for consumers. But here's where it gets controversial. Are tariffs a smart way to revive manufacturing, as some argue? Or do they unfairly penalize companies playing by global rules? Could this push automakers to shift production overseas, ultimately costing American jobs? For more info, Ford's official site at Ford.com. These United States, the iconic White House from John Adams. Our second president making it his home. This raises eyebrows. Is transforming a national symbol for personal use a bold modernization or an overreach? And this is the part most people miss. While renovations are common, funding a private space within a public landmark blurs lines between presidential perks and public trust. From the archives, revisiting the British burning of the White House video. Mo Rocca travels back to one of America's darkest hours for context. For more info, White House Historical Association at whitehousehistory.org. Maryland Center for History and Culture at mdhistory.org. Books. Kenny Chesney's Authentic Journey. As one of country music's biggest stars, Kenny Chesney's new venture is a memoir, Heart Life Music, chronicling his path from East Tennessee roots to his No Shoes Nation fan base. He chats with Lee Cowan in the laid-back Florida Keys about family, the grind of touring, and bouncing back from a 2009 show he dubbed Hitting a Wall. For beginners, memoirs like this offer raw insights into fame's highs and lows, showing how personal stories can inspire resilience. Read an excerpt to glimpse his world. For more info, Hard Life Music by Kenny Chesney with Holly Gleason, William Morrow. Available November 4th in hardcover, large print, ebook, and audio via Amazon, Barnes Noble, and bookshop.org. Kenny's site at kennychesney.com. Sports. CEO Nicholas Thompson finds balance through running. Nicholas Thompson, head of The Atlantic and a top-tier long-distance runner, opens up to Tony DeCouple about his father's influence, battling cancer, and sharing his passion with his kids. He discusses his book, The Running Ground, a mix of memoir and motivation for every aspiring athlete. It's a reminder that sports aren't just physical, they're mental workouts too. For those starting out, Running builds endurance gradually. Start with short walks and build up to prevent injury. For more info, The Running Ground, A Father, a Son, and the Simplest of Sports by Nicholas Thompson, Random House, out October 28 in hardcover, ebook, and audio on Amazon, Barnes Noble, and bookshop.org. Nicholas's site at nickthompson.com. Movies: Guillermo del Toro's twist on Frankenstein. He shares with Seth Doane his lifelong love for scares, his teenage crush on author Mary Wollstonecraft Shelley, and the idea that in reality, we're all weird in some way. Doane also interviews Oscar Isaac as Victor Frankenstein and Jacob Elordi as the creature. Watch the trailer below for a sneak peek. For more info, Frankenstein is in theaters now and on Netflix November 7th. Follow Guillermo on Instagram at GDTReal. Check out The Frankenstein. Crafting a Tale Eternal exhibit at the Old Selfridges Hotel in London through November 9th. Read the original Frankenstein or The Modern Prometheus by Mary Wollstonecraft Shelley on Project Gutenberg. Hartman, To Be Determined. Stay tuned for updates. Nature, To Be Determined. More details forthcoming. Web exclusives. From the archives, Misty Copeland's Ballet Legacy YouTube video. Ballerina Misty Copeland, the first black female principal at American Ballet Theatre, bid farewell to the stage on October 22, 2025. This 2014 profile by Anthony Mason captures her journey since joining ABT in 2001 and her push for diversity in dance. Web Extra. Jill Lepore on America as a Family Metaphor YouTube video. Historian Jill Lepore, author of We the People, discusses America's divided narratives, political divides, and how dissent can be patriotic. The Emmy-winning CBS News Sunday Morning is brought to you by executive producer Rand Morrison. Learn more about the show at cbsnews.com/news/about-us-14-09-2013. Check local airtimes at cbsnews.com/news/Sunday Morning Showtimes. Stream on the CBS News app from 11 a.m. Eastern Time and download it at cbsnews.com/mobile. Full episodes are on demand via cbsnews.com, cbs.com, and Paramount Plus. Compatible with Apple TV, Android TV, Roku, Chromecast, Amazon Fire TV, Fire TV Stick, and Xbox. Follow along on Twitter, X, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Blue Sky, and cbssundaymorning.com. Grab the free Sunday Morning podcast on iTunes or play.it. Got some themed art to share? Send it our way at sundaymorningsuns@cbsnews.com. What are your thoughts? Do you agree with Newsom's stance on the National Guard? Or does Trump's proposal make sense for addressing urban challenges? Is revamping the White House a